One. Hello, everybody. Want to welcome everyone to another commercial real estate tactical broker training. My name is Brett Swartz. I'm a multifamily broker with eXp Commercial and founder of Capital Gains Tax Solutions, where we help people defer capital gains tax not using a 1031, or if you're a broker, help you to win deals by providing an alternative to a 1031 exchange. Works for businesses, cryptocurrency, stock, works for primary homes. So if you're in the luxury real estate space, today, we're talking all about closings and ways to, after you have presented, after you have, let's say, at the cold call and you've had the meeting and you've had a proposal and you're in the proposal stage, about ways to help people to take action. Because guess what? If you spend a lot of times, finding leads, nurturing leads, but there's no action, then how do you really help somebody? And so we're going to be talking about closing. I am here with Brent Silverbauer. Also Pierce York with eXp Mastery Team. Brent, how are we doing, brother man? I think you might be on mute. Go.
Doing great. Thanks so much. Glad to be here.
Excellent. And so, Brent, I'm curious, what would you call we're going to dive into a number of closings here, right? But tell me what the conditional close is, right? What is the conditional close? Let's start with that basic one.
Yeah, conditional close is like predicated basically on an if then. If I'm able to do X, then will you do Y? So what it looks like is if we can agree on price and terms to your satisfaction, if I can show you how to defer all your capital gains and sell at the price that you want, then is there any reason why you wouldn't exclusively use me to list the property?
Yeah, absolutely. And so if then, assuming we can bring on price and terms to your satisfaction, is there any other reason why you wouldn't allow me to exclusively list the property, right? So you have the outcome that you're looking for, and this is before you are proposing, right? So you typically have that closing. I mean, I guess we also got to define closing, right? So closing for the next step in the sale, right? And the next step in the sale, and that could be closing from the sales call to the actual first appointment call, and that first appointment to the actual second appointment to present the listing, and the listing to actually close for the listing. And so in this scenario, where we're at in the sales cycle is that we're in the first listing appointment, and we're determining if a proposal is warranted, right? And you've uncovered needs, desires, challenges. You're understanding if they have some true motivation and a desire to make a change. And so you're asking that. Pierce, what questions do you have on that if then closing, or can you repeat it back to us?
Yeah, sure. So the just to summarize what you were saying, the if then closing is a conditional close to get to the next step, not necessarily always closing the deal, but to progress through the sales process and the sales cycle. So the conditional close being something like, if I can do X, Y, and Z, if I can meet your expectations, solve your problems, get you from point A to point B, right? Would you allow me to do X, Y, Z? Ideally, ultimately listing your property.
There it is, right? And so conditional close is based on action. It's cause and effect. If X, then Y. This means that as long as a certain criteria has been met, then the decision will automatically be made. It's just default. If this has been met, then automatically the next step is the logical committed step. So examples, after I've answered your questions, we will sign the contract. Because we agree on price of your property, that means we are ready to work together and can sign the listing agreement now. If you want someone who will always put your needs first and will fight for you, then you want to hire me. Don't sign the contract until you feel absolutely confident that I am the agent for you. Okay. So these are statements, right? So conditional close can also just be a statement, not even a question, right? So it could be along the lines of, so if it sounds like, you're going to label that, right? It sounds like you're committed to moving forward as long as we can agree on price and terms when I come back that you'll sign the listing agreement. And it's a downward inflection in my voice. It's not an upward inflection of a question. Okay, you see the difference there? Now, not that you can't ask the question too, but downward is going to be closing. Upward inflection is going to invite for more. Now, upward inflection is really good to use when you're discovering, right? When you're mirroring, my fee is too high, right? Or you're concerned with the rents. See how it's upward inflection? right? Now moving towards closing. And so it's more of a downward statement. Brent, does that make sense on the downward versus upward?
100%.
Okay. So that's the conditional close. Let's move into another close here. And this close is called pace, pace, lead. Pace, pace, lead. Okay. So the same pacing and leading that develops rapid rapport can also lead to a close of a sale. This time, instead of pacing tonality and words, you're going to pace the current experience. Choose 2 to 3 things that are true for your prospect right now based on the conversation you've had, and then lead them to what you want them to do. So example, all your questions have been answered. You're feeling confident about us working together, and you're excited that this can really happen. So let's make it official and sign the contract. So let me give you some more context, right? We've met with the prospect, right? We've uncovered some needs and some desires. We find out some pain points or some deal points like pricing or cash on cash return or what their long-term objections are, right? And we've been able to gather those key facts in their own words because we've been mirroring and labeling their emotions as well as their desires in actual words. And now what we're saying is, based upon this, and this, all of your questions have been answered, all of your thoughts, everything you've said, I've heard, I understand, right? All your questions have been answered. And you're feeling confident about us working together, right? You've already done the work to know that you've already established that rapport. You've established the connection there. And you're really excited that your goals can be met. So let's make it official and let's sign the listing agreement. So Brent, I want you to pace, lead me based upon what I just said.
Oh man. So this is kind of newer to me. Can we role play it one time?
Sure. Yeah. Let's give it a shot. Just do the best you can with what it was, right?
Okay. So I'm having a hard time with this one. Sorry.
That's okay. Pierce, you ever want to give it a shot?
Okay, so let me see if I understand it. So basically what you're getting at is that you're trying to give people something to move them forward, but then is it kind of like the give jab from Bert, Coach Bert?
It's not bad. It's not a bad way to think about it. You're giving them what they've already given to you. They've already given it to you. They've already said, this is what I want. This is what I desire. This is what I don't like. This is why I want to sell. This is what I fear. You've already mirrored and labeled everything, right? And you've been able to pace with them along the way, mirrored and labeled, right? And you build up this rapport, you build up this rhythm, right? And they're ready, and you sense that they're ready to move forward, right? They're ready to move forward. And it's sort of like summarizing, kind of like the assumption of close, right? Summarizing what's been said. And you pace, and then lead, right? So
Okay.
pace go ahead, Brent.
I think I can. Oh, Pierce, unless you want to do it.
You want to do it with me?
Sure. You be the guy.
Which guy?
The sales guy.
The sales guy?
Yeah, and I'll be the prospect.
You're the prospect?
Yes.
What are you selling?
Multifamily.
Multifamily.
Yeah.
Sounds like you might be interested in moving along from your tenants, trash and toilets.
Yes, like we discussed. Yes, absolutely. Totally.
What else?
Here, let me help you out. Okay. So Brent, so we've been discussing this, right? And clearly you're frustrated with rent control. Clearly you're frustrated with the 1031 exchange not solving your challenges, with having to have more toilets, more trash, more liability. And clearly your interest rate, you have some real concern that if it adjusts from its fixed rate environment, you're going to be, losing cash flow. That's going to be detrimental to what your living standards is right now. And you're also feeling confident that I have solutions to these challenges, all of these. And you're excited that if I could solve these, you're good. It's going to make you really happy. So let's make it official and let's sign the contract.
Sounds good. Hit the nail on the head.
Okay, you want to try it back to me?
Yeah. Okay. So Brett, as we've discussed, you have your 77 unit multifamily and you're concerned about California, you're concerned about the politics, you're concerned about rent control, you're concerned about tenants and the lack of payments. You're also really concerned, as you mentioned, about your interest rate adjusting and where you're going to go with that. You've told me that you'd rather be liquid and have the freedom to live wherever you want, make the decisions and have free time and not be overseeing the remodels and the new roofs. So if, so
all your questions have been answered. You're feeling
Oh, yeah.
confident about us working together and you're
Yeah.
excited and you can really make this happen. So close it now.
Yeah. So, and you're excited that I have a solution and you feel confident with me listing the property. So let's make it official. Let's go ahead and sign the contract.
Yep, good. And see, you're assuming that all of their questions have been answered. If they haven't, they're going to raise their hand again and say, well, not all my questions have been answered, right? So all your questions have been answered and you're feeling confident about us working together and you're excited this can really happen for you, like what you're trying to achieve, get to be. So let's make it official. Let's sign the contract.
So this is a summary of the entire discussion.
Correct.
And then that's the pace part, is the summary.
Yep.
And then the close part is
pacing their emotion, pacing their words, pacing their what they want the outcome to be. It's summarizing and it's pacing the tonality and their words. Okay, their tonality and their words. Okay, so you want to be on this basically that you're connected. You're connected, right?
Okay, so the pace is a summary. Within the summary, you're pulling out all their emotions using labels, using
you already have labeled, you already have mirrored, and you've already written all.
Already done all that.
Yeah.
So this is basically a closing.
This is the close.
Okay. So you've mirrored, labeled. Now you're summarizing. As you summarize, you're matching tonalities, you're matching emotions, and you're assuming that all the objections have been met.
Yep.
And then you're saying, great, let's go ahead and sign the paper.
Exactly. You got it. So so here's the key. To effectively make a sale, you must overcome the prospect's convincer filter. Most people have to be convinced of something multiple times before they can make a final and committed decision. To convince most people, you must demonstrate your competence or gain their buy-in 5 times. 5 times. 80% of sales are made on the 5th attempt. So this is just one closing. Okay. Number 2, tie downs. Tie downs. Okay. Tie downs are little add-ons at the end of the sentence. The sentence is formed as a statement and the tie down turns into a question instead that encourages agreement with the statement. Examples: don't you, won't you, isn't it, can't you, can you, doesn't it? Tie down should be delivered with a downward tonality. So shouldn't you be concerned, Brent, about rents being fixed and not being able to raise it? Shouldn't you?
Yeah.
Couldn't you see how not taking action now and your rate adjusting here in the next 24 months could negatively affect your cash flow and your desired outcome? Couldn't you?
Yeah.
Would it be amazing to not have to have the toilets, trash, and liabilities? Can you imagine not having to deal with calls, dealing with the city, regulations that are constantly changing, moving targets? Can't you imagine that?
Yeah.
Okay, so these are tie downs. They're little add-ons at the end of a sentence. The sentence is formed as a statement, and tie down turns into a question instead that encourages agreement with the statement. So I'm actually probably doing it wrong. I'm saying the question, and then I'm saying the statement, and then I'm saying the question. So it should rather be say this statement. This makes perfect sense, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I'm gonna try it. Let's try it.
Okay. Who wants to go? Pierce, you want to go?
I'll go. Yeah. So if I give you a proposal, at least then you'll have all the information. Sound fair enough?
Pretty good. Yeah, and I think I'd make it more of a statement. I'm going to bring a proposal that is going to solve each of the challenges we've talked about. Sound fair enough? So
What's
make a
interesting,
statement and then the question.
yeah. What's interesting is that this seems like it's more of a yes oriented question
It is.
versus like something like if you've read the book, they like the no oriented question.
Yeah,
So
you could be don't you, won't you, isn't it, can't you, can you, doesn't it? It could be yes or no, right? So you can make it negative. You just have to have the statement. So how would we do that negative, Brent?
Does this not concern you? California has rent control. Does this not concern you?
That's good. No, it does concern me.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
If we were to increase your cash flow by 50% and be able to pay off your debt and still defer capital gains tax, would you be against that?
No, I wouldn't be against that. Not at all.
Even if it cost you, 5 to 6% for the closing cost and commissions to make an investment for your future, would that be too expensive?
No, I don't think so. Not at all.
Okay, so that's tie downs. Okay, let's go to strategy number 3. It's called the double bind, aka the alternative choice close. Double binds offer the illusion of choice. People like to have options. It allows space for a decision to be made that is best interest of the self. This is why offering options allows people to make a decision more easily. Ultimately, when enough value has been offered, that's key. When enough value has been offered, the client can close themselves by simply choosing how they would like to proceed. Example, this is probably more so on a cold call, right? You've provided enough value and expertise, and you're closing for the meeting. Does daytime or evening work best for you for us to meet?
Daytime.
2 o'clock or 5 o'clock?
2 o'clock.
At my office or at a coffee shop?
At your office, definitely.
Do you want to choose an average pricing model or an aggressive pricing model?
Definitely aggressive.
You ready to list right now or at the end of the week?
End of the week.
Pierce, you want to try?
It's like an either or close.
Yeah. But either way, the outcome is
Yeah.
we're going to proceed. We're moving forward.
Yeah. You want to list now or in 2 months?
Yep. Pierce?
you want to listen today or tomorrow?
Perfect. Yeah.
I like that one better.
Yep. So that's pretty straightforward, right? So this is 3. This is really 4 with the assumptive close, right? We already did the conditional one. So I'll move to this next one. It's just imagine, okay? So just imagine or what if causes the subconscious to consider something that is outside of their present moment. This allows a prospect to consider the possibilities that exist beyond their current beliefs or objections. Oftentimes, this can easily allow a solution to come to mind that will solve the problem, or at least loosen the grip of a person has on a problem. Example, just imagine that you've already sold your home, property, asset for top dollar because you hired me here today. What has to have happened in order for you to feel totally committed and completely confident in the decision that you have made to hire me today? What if you could actually have the results you want? If that happens, it doesn't really matter how you got there, does it? Just imagine you could have X blank, whatever the things that they really want. How did you do it? So it's taking them from their current state, their current problem they might feel stuck in. They're not really seeing outside of the realm of where their vision is. And you're taking them to a future place of what if you could imagine. What if? But what if we could get there? What if we could sell it for top dollar, defer your capital gains tax, move you into a position where you increase your cash flow? What if? What if you never had toilets, trash, liability? Whatever that thing is, right? What if you never had to deal with California ever again? Brent, go try.
What if you're able to sell at top dollar your whole portfolio of single family homes and not have to worry about the timing of a 1031 exchange?
Just imagine that you already have sold all of your homes tomorrow. So actually take them. It's already been sold. We've closed.
Okay.
There's $7 million in the account.
Just imagine that all your 30 fixer-upper houses are all sold. You don't have to worry about toilets, tenants, or trash ever again. And you're sitting on a beach in Florida, drinking a Mai Tai and
there's $5 million in a passive commercial real estate company that we partner with, we work with, that is producing
And it's
dependable,
earning
durable
income.
income.
With some of the best real estate investors in the world running everything for you so that you can relax.
Because you hired me to help you connect, sell, and get to this group and have this solution. So make sure you link yourself to it, right? What has to have happened in order for you to feel totally and completely confident in the decision you made to hire me today?
Is that a question you ask them?
Yeah.
Or is that, because that sounds like it's like the future pacing sounds more like you're bringing them to a place. And then that question seems more like a discovery question.
It's both. So you're going to bring them to the place. It's kind of like pace, pace, lead, right? So it's kind of like pace, pace, lead. You are pacing with them by helping them to imagine what it could be on the outcome. Okay. And then you are simply linking yourself as the solution to it, right? Because you hired me today, because we took action today and you hired me today because I have the answers, I have the solutions, I have the expertise. And then you're bringing them back to where they're at right now. And he said, what has to have happened in order for you to feel totally and completely confident in the decision you made to hire me today? So now it's bringing it to you and maybe any reservations they might have, hesitations, questions. But it gets them out of just feeling stuck, like fees are too high, or I'm concerned that, the marketplace is going somewhere that I'm not comfortable with. And you can also do this on the negative side too. You can say, hey, imagine that your interest rate does adjust and your cash flow drops by $10,000 per month and occupancy drops because student housing has decreased in Northern California for universities. Just imagine what that would be like, right? And because you did not hire me and we did not solve the problem today, that you are in a worse position than you were if you were to hire me today. Right? So you can also reverse it. Make sense, Pierce?
Yeah.
So now so these are multiple closings, right? You want to do one more?
Yep. Last
Okay.
one.
Just suppose. Just suppose is similar to just imagine and what if, but it's closer to asking your prospect to pretend with you for a moment. This strategy keeps the person more connected to the present. The subconscious will imagine doing things differently now. Examples. Just suppose you hired me today. How excited are you knowing that you're on your way to getting what you want? I know this is a big decision, but just suppose you could make this decision easily and feel good about it. What's that like? Just suppose you were to cancel all of your other appointments and just hire me. In this reality, do you think your family is happy that the decision has been finally made? You want to try it, Brent?
Sure. Ready? Okay, ready?
Yeah.
All right. So let's just suppose that you do sell the property. It goes for what we're wanting. You're able to defer all the capital gains and reinvest in a real estate company that allows you to have total passive income and get away from the toilet, tenants, and trash. What would that feel like to you?
How excited are you knowing what you're on your way to getting what you want? Just suppose you can make that decision today. I know this is a big decision, but just suppose you could hire me today to help you achieve all of that. How good would you feel about that? What's that like?
Yeah, it's good.
You see how I'm pausing, letting them think about it?
Yeah, future pacing.
Future pacing. Just suppose. You want to try, Pierce?
Yep. So just suppose you hired me today and we solved all your problems.
Yeah, I mean, but you've already built the rapport, you've already built the expertise, so say it with confidence, right?
Yeah.
It literally solved all your problems. Just suppose.
Just suppose you woke up tomorrow and you didn't have any toilets, trash, or tenants to deal with. And you had $7 million sitting in a bank that's tax deferred, and you could invest in whatever you want, whenever you want, and you could create, preserve, and grow your wealth and your kids wouldn't have to deal with your 1031s.
Now go to the next part of it. How excited are you?
How excited would you be
Knowing you're on your way to getting what you want.
knowing you're on your way to getting what you want?
Perfect. I know this is a big decision, but just suppose you can make this decision easily and feel good about it. What's that like?
Does Tuesday or Wednesday to sign the listing agreement sound better?
There you go. Now you can tie them back in together, right? So these are some things to take. All right. So we covered 6 of 17 strategies.
Are these
cover
from
more.
Expert Secrets? Are these from good old Brunson?
This is not Brunson, but there's some stuff that's mixed in.
There's a lot of overlap.
Yeah, for sure. So come back next week, guys, but practice these, right? Practice these. And we will practice even more next week. Maybe just pick one. Pick one on in your next meeting. Pick one to practice. Just imagine, just suppose, conditional close, the double bind, the tie downs, pace lead. Okay. And just pick one and try to implement it as you're talking with everyone. Hey, we appreciate everyone watching out there. If you want to learn more about us, you can go to expmastery.com. We're looking for some of the best commercial real estate agents and brokers to join us, as well as luxury agents who want to level up and be a part of the eXp Mastery team. We'd love the opportunity to talk with you and for you to interview us to see if it could be a great fit. We are across the whole country of the United States, and we look forward to the opportunity. And if any clients are out there watching this, hey, with the opportunity to list your property, to sell it, to help you out, check out the new book, Building a Capital Gains Tax Exit Plan, that just got released last week. We did hit #1 bestseller for real estate and the wealth category, which is pretty exciting. And thanks to everyone's support out there. Check that out on Amazon. You can go to capitalgainstaxsolution.com to learn more about that too. And Brent Silverbauer, if people want to find you, where can they find you?
BrentSalesChico.com.
Pierce York, if people want to find you, where can they find you?
Find me at kingdomluxuryrealty.com or Living in Newport Beach, California YouTube channel.
Awesome. Thanks, guys. Thanks, everybody. Talk soon.